the Dow Jones down only 22 points today. We continue to get more bad news. I truly believe that if these markets were not anticipating these future rate cuts, that we would see the Dow Jones being absolutely devastated today with the continued bad news, the continued news of what's happening in this economy. If it was not for the anticipation of more rate cuts that these markets are so dependent on, we would be seeing devastation taking place right now. It's Tuesday, July 9th, 2019. Please make sure you share this video, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell notification down below. As people have commented multiple times, they're not getting updates, so you may have to physically check when the newest video comes out, but please make sure you hit that bell notification, make sure you're checking on a daily basis for new videos, and most of all, share this video with everybody you know, all your family members, all your social media. We must continue to get the message out, as it is becoming more difficult for small channels like this to get exposure. So it is up to everybody out there to continue to wake people up. And one way you can do that is by promoting and sharing these videos. The news continues to get worse. We got some very interesting numbers today. wolfstreet.com, good website, check that out. And it's regarding the trucking orders here in the United States of America. Orders of Class 8 trucks, your big semi type trucks, have now plunged 8 months in a row. In this booming economy, Class 8 trucks orders are plummeting now 8 months in a row. We are now seeing the lows of 2015 to 16 to just barely 10,000 units a month. We're now witnessing a trucking recession taking place here in the United States. How can we have this incredible economy? How can we have all this growth, yet we are having a trucking recession? Look, to anybody out there who cannot figure this out, there is something wrong here when you have a booming economy and yet you're having a trucking recession at the same time. The trucking industry is the backbone of America. And if you're a trucker out there, please comment down below and tell us what you are seeing out there with shipping, your trucking orders, what's happening with these new truck orders. What are your fellow associates saying? What are you personally seeing out there? Please comment down below. It says here in the article that what's keeping the manufacturers alive right now are all the backlogs from the pile of orders back in 2018. And as most of you remember, December of 2018 is really when we took mass devastation in the markets. It was a terrible Christmas season for retail. Shipping fell off of a cliff. And from that point on, things really began to slow down in the trucking industry. The question is, what's going to happen when they get caught up with the 2018 orders? Manufacturers will soon be confronted with a cyclical sales decline that is already pre-programmed by the plunge in orders. After truck manufacturers eat up their backlogs, what happens then? So it is a matter of time before we start seeing serious carnage in truck manufacturing. And it is really another canary in the coal mine, warning every one of you what is taking place right now. Not what is going to take place, but what is taking place right now in the U.S. economy. Yet too many people are asleep, too many people in denial, people don't want to hear about it. You know, again, it is what it is. It's not affecting me. It's going to start affecting everybody. And there is not a person out there that doesn't know somebody that is not being affected by this economy right now. Many of you watching this are being affected by the economy. Comment down below. How is this economy affecting you right now? Is it affecting you? Is it not affecting you? If it is, how is it affecting you? Here's another article. This was on Zero Hedge this morning. The title of this article, job openings suffer worse start to a year since 2009. This was the weakest start to the year in terms of job openings. Workers, the article went on to say that workers do not have confidence leaving the job that they're in right now to go to a better job. And every time I go out, I see multiple cars, Lyft and Uber stickers. This is now the American dream. This is everybody's job now, being a Lyft or Uber driver. Nothing wrong with that, but how many people are having to do these side hustles, take on 2 or 3 additional jobs just to get by? And we just see a growing number of Lyft and Uber drivers. And from what I've been told from people who do it, it's getting harder and harder to make money as a Lyft and Uber driver. Again, booming economy, yet you have to work 2 or 3 jobs just to survive. And yet most of these people are not getting ahead. This was in shtfplan.com. Investors are ramping up purchases of government debt after Christine Lagarde's nomination as European Central Bank president. Investors are betting the ECB era of stimulus will continue. No brainer. We're going to see it here also as things continue to get bad. Expect interest rates to lower and expect to see more quantitative easing taking place. FinancialTimes.com did a survey. 45% of there is a 45% chance of global recession in the next 12 months, as they took a survey by investors. Fund managers are more bearish on the dollar than any point in the last 5 years. Everything is propped up. Everything we're witnessing is a dead man walking. The economy is a dead man walking. The stock market is a dead man walking. Deutsche Bank is a dead man walking. There are a lot of dead men walking out there, and people are not paying attention to the reality of things that are right in front of their eyes. They're not getting ready. They're not preparing. There are just multiple warning signs taking place that people are just ignoring, and it blows my mind. Again, if people look at the stock market and they're seeing these all-time record highs, they believe that the economy is okay. The economy is not okay, or I would not be telling you and talking to you about these statistics right now. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in Vancouver, Canada. Condo sales plunged 28% in June compared to last June, and last June was horrible. It's down another 28%. Inventory in Vancouver, in condos, in the condo inventory is up 32%. Median price fell 10% to 656,000 Canadian dollars. Lowest number of sales since 2002 in Vancouver. Vancouver detached houses sales plunged 16%. Median price dropped 12% year over year. The average price dropped 12%. Sales have plunged 61% in detached houses in Vancouver since 2015. This will affect America. We're going to see numbers like this starting to affect areas here in America. We're going to see the same type of numbers in America. As many of you know, the average debt of a Canadian is soaring. Real estate is falling off of a cliff, and they're going to see a major real estate depression taking place as it's already beginning in Canada. And when you look at Vancouver and what's happening right now, another canary in the coal mine. Does this affect America? Yes, of course, because so many Canadians come out here and spend part of the year here, especially here in Coachella Valley, the Palm Springs area. So many Canadians come down here, buy second homes, they're buying condos, they're spending money at the restaurants, the bars, the golf courses, the hotels. And as they start getting destroyed up in Canada, do you think they're coming to America to spend money? Not going to happen. Another canary in the coal mine. This will affect retail. This is going to affect the service sector here in America, and another sign of things to come. Another article on Zero Hedge. Prescription drug prices are skyrocketing 5 times the rate of inflation. Remember, health is one of the #1 assets you can have. Do not become dependent or reliant on prescription drugs, because they're going to destroy you financially. They're going to destroy you physically. So, be proactive, stay active, keep the body moving, clean up the diet a little bit, keep working out, and do everything you can to avoid being dependent on these drugs that are going to make you a zombie. You know, over half of America now is on prescription drugs. Just take a walk, through a Walmart. Just driving out here, the way people drive, the way people act. You know, I opened the door for somebody the other day who had 2 babies and a double stroller, and I was the nice guy. I opened the door to let them out. They're like zombies. They just walk by. You don't even say thank you. I'm like, hey, thank you. You know, I have to give people lessons in manners now because they're like zombies. And so you can imagine how their kids are going to turn out too. So, I'm literally in a land of zombies at times when I go out in my environment, when I go to a Walmart, when I'm at a restaurant, when I'm at a mall, just the way people act and behave. Some of these videos, I'm sure most of you saw the video out in Disneyland where this family was fighting with one another, punching one another, knocking one another down to the ground at Disneyland. There's another one at a baseball game where these giant women are duking it out with one another, then attacking security. This is America today. This is your environment. And I say to people I know, imagine what happens, how these people would act in tough times when these people don't have food, don't have water, don't have government subsidy. Imagine how violent these people will be when the bad times hit America. Look at how they act in the good times. Imagine what these people, how animalistic these people will be in the bad times. It's another reason why I preach you better be prepared and you better cover all your bases, because you are going to be dealing with some very, very violent people here in America. Another very informative article today on Zero Hedge. China officially buys gold for 7th straight month as Treasury holdings tumble. In the month of May 2019, China added another 10 tons of gold to its reserve. This is the 7th straight month of buying in a row. Every one of you has to remember, when we're speaking about gold and silver, there is no liability to owning either one of these metals. Silver and gold will never be worth zero. They have never been worth zero. They've been here 5,000 years. They are God's money. And the Chinese government and the Chinese banks understand this. Gold is an important strategy in China's rise as a superpower. You have to think the same way that China's thinking. If you want to protect yourself, if you want to have buying power, if you want to have insurance, you need to think the way China's thinking, and that is buying precious metals. China is betting against the US dollar. And unfortunately, you're going to have to bet against the US dollar too. If you believe the US dollar is going to be here, that it's going to have a long future, and that the US dollar is going to have buying power years down the road here, keep stacking and saving cash money that you're going to be earning 0% interest on, or even negative. You're going to be putting your money in a bank and losing money. Some of you already are losing money at what they're paying you in interest on top of all the charges that they're giving you just to put your money in a savings account. A lot of people already are losing money. Imagine when rates go to zero, go negative, you're going to be paying the bank to be holding your money. Do you think it's a better idea, a better strategy to do what China's doing, and that's putting away gold and silver? Do you think it's a better strategy to do what the central banks are doing, what major countries around the world are doing, what the wealthy are doing, and that's hoarding, putting away precious metals? Or putting away dollar bills that are losing buying power every day. Countries around the world dumping US dollars, dumping US treasuries. They know what is coming. The writing is on the wall. As most of you know, we have had some very large earthquakes here in Southern California the past week. And I truly believe that these are warnings. These are messages that people better wake up real quick, because time is running short to prepare. Now, I truly believe that God is waking his people up. I believe that God is telling people that they better get their life in order, because America is going to be tested. America is going to be rocked. Now, you may not be a religious person. You may not believe in God. I do, and I do believe that these earthquakes do symbolize something, that there is a message in this. And that message is, we are getting closer to a very, very dark time here in America. Now, we just have the Epstein case unfolding where he's been arrested. There's investigation taking place. And many, many people are going to be involved in this. He was associated with people in politics, people in the banking industry, people in Hollywood, businessmen, people in the royal family, you name it. This guy has been associated with all these people that committed atrocities against little kids. And I believe that we're going to see names and people come off that list, indictments that people just aren't going to believe who these people are and what they did, these atrocities that they committed against little kids and the human trafficking that took place. And this is just another reflection of the moral decay here in America, where our politicians, the famous in Hollywood, the rich on Wall Street, just how deviant these people are. And I believe that a lot of this is going on in America, and I believe America is going to be judged. And as we all know, America financially is bankrupt already. Morally, it's bankrupt. So people out there that think that America is just going to turn it around, that there's going to be some type of rapture in the economy, that, we're going to have this reset tomorrow and everything's going to be hunky-dory, it's going to be fine. I don't think America is going to get off that easy. I believe the day of reckoning is coming to America. I believe that people are going to be judged here in America. I believe America is going to go through the second Great Depression, which is going to be even worse than the first one. And I believe people's eyes are going to be opened to the demonic people and the treason and the traitors who've been running this country, who've been robbing, raping, and pillaging this country. And I believe that America has to hit rock bottom before it can turn around and heal itself. And I believe that there are still great people here in America that aren't going to allow America to fail, that are going to hold these people accountable, hold these central banks accountable, hold the media accountable. I believe we are going to see amazing things happen in America, but I believe we are going to be blown away and shocked at what a lot of these people have done, what these people were capable of, the abuses, the atrocities, the treason. And I truly do believe America is going to be judged. And I do believe America will have another chance. And it's going to be up to, I believe, the true Americans, a small percentage of people who are going to turn this country around. And if this country doesn't get back to God, we will not have a country. If people do not wake up and realize what is happening to their country, this agenda of this invasion that's being taken place, how the rules are all being changed in politics, if people don't wake up really quick, we will lose America as we are losing it piece by piece by piece by piece every day. I truly pray to God we do not lose this great country. I do have faith that we won't, but I don't think people are prepared for what they're about to see with what Hollywood, their politicians, have done and the atrocities and crimes they committed. I don't think people are even going to believe it. But I do pray that it's not too late for America, and I do pray that the good people of America come together and not allow America to fall, because we are on the cuffs of losing this great country. As you all know, take a look around. Most of America now is looking like a third world country. We are losing rights. We're losing a culture. We're losing our country. We're losing our border. And if something isn't done soon, we will lose the greatest country on the face of the earth. We're here for a purpose. We're on this earth, and we're here in America at this time for a reason. I think we're going to see the most exciting times in history. I think we're going to be a part of history. This era, this time in America, what we're about to see is going to go down in the history books. It will be biblical, and you and I are going to experience it. Put some skin in the game. Be part of this. Get involved. We're all going to look back one day and say to ourselves and say to our friends, family, kids, whoever, we were a part of this, not letting this country fall. We got involved. We were part of the fight. And because of us, America exists today. Be a part of that history. We live in the greatest country that allowed us the most opportunity. We cannot turn our backs on this great country. That would be a sin. You will be judged for that. And God's going to ask you one day what you did for your country. Why'd you let it fall? We are not going to let America fail. God bless every one of you. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you very soon.